Hello Fringers, Spacers, and the Rebel Alliance. I'm here at the top of the show for a quick check-in and a call to action. We at Respect the Crit continue to support the growing protests, demonstrations, and advocacy to put an end to police brutality, institutionalized racism, and white supremacy in our country. Recently, we have seen some disconcerting actions by the Trump administration, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Homeland Security. Federal agents have been deployed to several Democratic-led U.S. cities, and more are scheduled to arrive before this year's presidential election. As we have seen in Portland, they have been detaining citizens without cause and refusing to identify themselves and their agencies. They are irresponsibly using tear gas and riot control weapons and escalating peaceful demonstrations into violent encounters. To call this political theater is dangerously inaccurate. These are early acts of fascism and state-sponsored terrorism. Federal money is being allocated to hiring more officers and agents to occupy cities at a time where unemployment benefits are being reduced and dismantled, and at a time where healthcare has not been prioritized for all U.S. citizens. Action is now unavoidable to stand against this constitutional crisis. I am calling on listeners of this show to please do one or all of the following in order to raise your voices and concerns to resist fascism in our country. Firstly, if you are able, please join the protests and demonstrations that continue across many major cities in the U.S., especially if your home is one of the Democratic-led cities that are being targeted by Trump and the DOJ. Consider attending a protest or demonstration in support of these cities. Here in Los Angeles, you can check with Black Lives Matter LA or March and Rally LA for upcoming events and helpful information on how to prepare and protect yourself while protesting. Links are provided in the show notes of this episode. The daily and nightly demonstrations in Portland have seen their numbers grow, and the communities coming together to support each other is an example to all of us. Your presence really does make a difference. And if you're unable to attend, consider offering support in other ways. Food and water donations are always welcome. Secondly, please consider donating money to the relief funds that are in place for protests still going on, especially the ones with federal presence or increased law enforcement. Funds like the Portland Freedom Fund or the PDX Bail Fund in Oregon, the Chicago Community Bond Fund in Chicago, and the ACLU help them continue to fight and protect our citizens and our rights. Links to those funds and organizations can be found in the show notes of this episode. Lastly, and this one is an easy first step and one that every listener should be doing, contact your senators and representatives to voice your concern about the abuse of federal resources and abuse of executive power by Trump and his administration. Let them know that you consider the deployment of federal troops to police its citizens a violation of our constitutional rights and an alarming behavior in our democracy. Ask the offices of your reps what they are doing concretely to push back against this occupation and demand that they do so immediately. And also find and contact your mayors and city council people. Let them know that you oppose the presence of federal law enforcement during these protests and hold them accountable to take action against it. The deployment of these troops has little to do with protecting citizens and everything to do with protecting the racist institutions that uphold inequality and injustice for Black, Indigenous, and lives of people of color. The idea that these agencies are doing anything that even resembles relieving social unrest is absurd, because their very presence is the cause of social unrest. There is no amount of peaceful that will be applied to the protests that won't be called violent by the perpetuators of violence. And this escalation makes it clear that these protests and demonstrations are having an impact and helping to raise awareness and change the conversation about race in our country. The violence being used against our protesters and demonstrators highlights the importance of abolitionism and demilitarization of our law enforcement agencies. Still going to be a long road and we have work ahead of us, but we are making headway and we need to keep the pressure on. And we need to keep standing up for and standing with Black Lives Matter. In Star Wars, the tyranny of the Empire is a backdrop for adventure stories and the conflict driving interesting character development. But in the world we live in, authoritarianism is a very real threat to our democracy and to our humanity. Fascism cannot be ignored and it cannot be tolerated. Period. We must act to defend against it, support efforts to call out and expel it, and demand from our elected officials to take action. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the anti-racism protests for justice, and may the force be with you. Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan. To my digital left, the droid from the void, Jamie Lee Bonez.
Hello, I am Jamie. I play Elo, the modified medical droid. Bleep bloop.
And the Doug, who can cut a rug, Alex Herrera.
Hi, I'm Alex. I play Beegax Botano, Doug Slicer. And he doesn't dance, but he
Nope, it's
good.
canon now. Beegax is a dancer. He's a great dancer.
Well, then that makes one of us. Alex is not a great dancer.
I don't feel great about that intro, but it's what
Hey, it's here.
It's what I have. It's the only thing I have. That's that like 90-degree heat on your brain kind of intro.
Are your windows open or closed?
Closed.
Yeah, I knew it.
They gotta be closed.
You want to keep the audio fidelity.
Yeah, exactly.
What a master of his craft. I can't believe it. I would just say, if I was you in your apartment, I'd be like, fuck that. I'm turning everything on. The refrigerator's open.
No, we are all individually here suffering for our art. It is very hot. It's that dry heat of Socorro, and we're all feeling it. And speaking of Socorro, let's just jump right in. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 19. Relax, Beegax. Beegax and Elo have accepted a job from gregarious gangster Zalto the Hutt, transporting cargo and materials between the outer rim world of Socorro and the Imperial-occupied paradise of Scarif. In exchange, they learned of a Bothan residing behind the clandestine walls of Cjaalysce'i, identified as Sno Ba'all, a possible lead in their search for the Bothan Spy Gir Tu'Tey. But Elo and Beegax are caught between sides, pressured to assassinate Zalto for the crime lords of Socorro, or to turn the tables and ally with the hubristic Hutt. All while the Empire moves in to suppress insurgent activity in the region and continue their search for stolen slicing equipment. The fearless Fringers are anxious to leave the desert world as tensions and occupying forces mount around this dusty frontier.
Our camera pans down from that boiling, bright, red sun, Socorro, and from the crimson sky that it sits in, and comes down onto a familiar sight, the YT-2400 ship, The Way. It's been repaired. There's been some... In fact, we can see just some of those, like, repair droids making their way across the top of the ship. They're like long and cylindrical and look like they have security cameras for eyes and weird little wrench limbs. We see in fact 3 beings walking onto this pad, making their way towards the entrance to the ship. Its docking bay opening remotely as they step in.
I think Elo is going to slowly walk up this ramp and take a look around and then look back at Verse and Beegax and just say, I'm going to get things ready to prepare for departure. And then they'll probably head up towards the navigation room, the room where the guy does the thing. That one.
Good start, Elo.
The go room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Elo steps up into the way, followed by the sort of like lumbering gait of a Doug walking up the ramp.
Well, he'll notice how nice it looks. And he'll look at the droids as they're repairing things like those. When you describe them, I envision those droids on Hoth when Han Solo's getting the Millennium Falcon fixed.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, so he'll look at one of them, and it's like kind of moving. It's like on the ground level. It's like moving some things. He's like, no, that one goes there.
Spins around to get away from Beegax and correct the mistake.
And he just kind of hobbles up in his Doug-like walk.
Before we go any further, why don't we do the destiny roll and set up some points?
I got 2 dark side points.
2 dark side. Oh, excellent.
Here we go. 1 dark side.
1 dark side. I got, surprisingly, 1 light side.
Thank you.
We'll have saving grace.
The Wills of the Force, yes, it was very close, but they have decided to grant you a path, a glimpse of the path towards the light side of the Force. So you have an additional light side point that cannot be converted to a dark side point, but will leave the game once it has been used.
It's okay. It's not like we're gonna run into space pirates twice, right?
You don't remember that. These guys they're a group, from what I remember.
They were pretty organized.
I think Beegax would, before Verse gets on the ship, he'd go find Elo and kind of ask them, or give them a lowdown. He'll kind of, as I envision Elo's messing with the navigation computer, just kind of like checking things out. He'll come up close to them. Hey, so we got what we needed from the hut. So how are we gonna set this up? Any ideas are welcome.
I think Elo is, while still sort of inputting what they need to input to get where we're going. I'm not sure how we'll get into the walled city again. Once we're done here, maybe we can look into that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the ship landing there should be easy enough. Well, they know us, we know them. I'm just more concerned with, how do we get them to fight each other?
It would be bad if each of them found out that we were working for the other, and they all came after us.
And Beegax will rub his chin. We can get the Empire involved. Both sides seem to not like them.
Doesn't that seem dangerous?
He kind of just shrugs. I mean, look at the last few days here. It's been pretty dangerous regardless of what we've done.
I do worry, though, that Zalto may have connections.
I mean, when it comes to the Empire, you can have as many connections as you'd like. It's really more about them using people than them making friends.
How do we get them to kill each other? I hadn't really thought about how we were going to make that happen.
I mean, so what I'm thinking is, somehow, we have to get the Empire aware of what both of these guys are doing. However, we are going to do a mission for Zalto that involves retrieving things from the Empire, or from.
Yeah.
So they're giving him materials. Yeah, but for a reason. What is he giving them in return?
What's their arrangement?
Yeah.
Maybe we could try while we're there to figure that out. What their arrangement is.
Yeah.
While you're having this discussion, there's something very obvious to the two of you, and that is the cargo that has been loaded onto the way. Several crates stacked up in the cargo area as you entered. Like, they sort of stacked up at several levels and all around in here. It's definitely new.
Is there like a symbol of some kind on it? No, that'd be too obvious.
Yeah, no symbol. They just look like unmarked hover crates.
Can I open one? Or does it look like it's been sealed with some sort of like seal of approval?
No, it's not. Yeah, you can totally open one. You can, yeah.
I'm gonna pop one. Just open one up.
You pop one open and there are fresh fruits. There's these like little berries that you've seen all over Socorro, and these sort of like kind of colorful spiky mango things that you would recognize as Meluran fruit.
Meluran.
There's something labeled Ewok jerky, like in a bag.
Oh, no.
Oh my god!
No!
There's also jars here that glow. There's bottles of alcohol. It looks like this spirits that are made from these berries that you've seen here on Socorro. Some Corellian whiskey. There's right away you notice there is Booster Blue and some other drugs
under the fruit.
Yeah, totally. There are things like sabacc cards, dice, cigaras, and a lot of pornography.
Jeez.
Okay.
This is a bribe. This is all.
When you open this crate, something like pops up out of the crate and like floats up into the air. It's this little white orb, and it starts like circling around. It begins to circle around Elo and just start of like orbiting you slightly. It's this like very smooth looking matte kind of white orb, and it's got sort of like a Medicaid symbol on it. I don't know what that is in Star Wars, but like...
I think it's something similar. I've seen it in the cartoons.
my gosh.
Beegax wouldn't know what this is, so he's gonna try and shoot it with his disruptor pistol.
It's surrounding me. Be careful.
Well, I'm picturing that I'm lower to the ground, so I'm aiming
That's
upwards,
true,
not
that's
at
true,
Elo.
that's true.
Yeah. And I've learned not to shoot into crowds and at people, you know. I figured that out.
Is it like scanning me?
Yeah, it's like...
Okay.
It seems to be like scanning you, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot it.
So roll me a range light 1 difficulty. Throw in a black die because you are trying to not to hit Elo.
Like, is it possible to get a despair right now? Don't get a despair.
No, there's no despair. There's no despair. It's possible on these dice. Ooh! Wee! 1 success and everything else canceled out.
Okay, what's the damage on that?
10 damage.
10 damage.
I'm gonna blow this thing up.
Eva.
Yeah, this thing takes this shot dead on, clunks to the ground, and like it stops scanning you, Elo, and lands with a thud onto the floor of the way. The orb like opens up, and about like 4 limbs, like really thin limbs, just like shoot out, and it lays out as if a spider that has been squashed. It seems to be some kind of droid that is now not functioning.
You killed my baby.
Oh, Beegax looks at it. I hope it wasn't friendly. And he just like puts the gun back. But inside his mind, he's like, haha, yeah, quick draw, I did it.
Elo's gonna walk over and pick it up and like assess it and look at it and try to figure out what this little droid is.
Now you can see, looking at it, it's like sensors seem to be like looking up at you, and a sort of like projected screen shows up, and there's a bunch of intro stuff like you would have like on a new iPhone, you know, like welcome screen, like choose your language, choose your thing. So you can go through all of this, and as you're doing so, it's telling you that it is a Polis Massa mini-med droid.
Rips.
And as you scroll through all of these things, eventually it gets to a screen where it says, please enter identification, and it says doctor, and then there's like a blinking cursor there on this projected screen. And it's flickering.
Elo is going to, if it would let them, put in Elo as the script. But if not, and if it like shuts down, Elo is going to keep this little droid friend in the med bay, and we'll work on repairing it while we are in flight.
It allows you to enter in Elo as this designation, and as soon as you do, it like the screen retracts or like dissipates. The droid gives like a sort of like satisfied chirp, and then just like slumps in your hand. Its little spindles sort of like drooping off of Elo's arms.
What is it?
It seems as though it's a miniature medical droid.
Oh, Criff.
Probably could have been pretty useful. And then Elo's gonna look down at Beegax.
Well, I mean, I can fix it. I mean, I'm pretty good with machines, you know. Let's get in the air, and then I'll see what I can do.
I've plotted our way.
I'm gonna need you to make me an astrogation check, an average difficulty, so 2. Yeah.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Nice.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you plot a course to Scarif.
Do we have the right coordinates? Credentials to fly in this place? I don't remember if I have to make some new ones or...
We were supposed to get some.
Both of you can roll me perception checks.
2 advantage, but that's it.
I got a wash.
You're not seeing the credentials, and you're not seeing the rifle that you've asked for as well.
Probably message. Oh my god, what's his name? I keep fucking up his name. Nemro?
Placebo or Zalto?
Zalto. Because he was supposed to give us... Wait, who did we ask? Did we ask Placebo or did we ask Zalto?
You asked Placebo. You don't have a direct line to Zalto.
Okay,
as of yet.
that makes sense. He is a hut. Alright, well then I'd get on whatever comlinks we have. Hey, Placebo, come in.
Hello, Patisa. What is it this time?
Hey, we're just about to take off and I realized we don't have the credentials or the guns we asked for.
Those things take time. I said give me 1 rotation.
This guy. You see, like, Beegax is just like grinding his teeth like a horse, just like...
Verse comes in at this point. She's like, we gotta kill some time?
Beegax turns around, kind of annoyed. He just puts his hand out like 1 second.
She doesn't say anything, but she gives you such a stink eye.
He goes back on there. Look, I understand. But we like to get things done quick and efficiently. This is neither of those 2 things happening, and it's very upsetting.
You trust placebo, yes?
Beegax looks at Verse, like, shakes his head no.
She's shaking her head no.
He goes back on. Yeah, you can say that.
We will have the credentials for you. Placebo will take care of this. No worries. There is plenty of time for this delivery.
Gets back on. Okay. Read you loud and clear, buddy. And he'll just throw the comm device like on the table. He doesn't even look at Verse. He just walks by and just says, "Don't even say it."
She's like, she looks over to Elo. I'm gonna say it.
Elo is just going to, probably with whatever space clipboard they had ready, thinking that they were leaving, is just going to sort of like put it down and say, I guess we're not leaving then.
No. You hear from down the hall as Beegax goes to the med bay to go work on the medical droid he shot on accident.
Verse like gives like a look to Elo. What is his problem?
I would say that Beegax more has a personality problem than an anger one.
Is there like something you can do about this? Is there like a drug or something you can give him? No, you know what? I've got the drug. It's alcohol. Y'all been running around here crazy ever since I first met you, and that wasn't that long ago, but you need to relax.
That is true.
What do you do to relax, Elo?
In my spare time, I do like to organize things. I find it very calming. And they're gonna start to just like move little tchotchkes like 2 inches to the right on this little desk or something. Like, see? Wasn't that cathartic?
Oh boy. Okay, alright. Beegax is working on this thing. Give me a mechanics check.
Oh yeah.
Bread and butter.
That's going to be a hard check, but you get a blue die.
I'm sorry, little gizmo. 4 success, 1 advantage.
You think with a little bit of time and a little bit of concentration, you can get this thing, you can fix the damage that you repaired on it and bring it back.
Oh, that should be easy. Just click this here and then hold this and he'll just like keep messing around with it, and eventually he'll close the top carapace or case, just clicks together. Okay, let's try it. And then he'll hit like the soft reset where you hold down 3 buttons at the same time.
It spins back up to life, and its spines like have rigidity back to them and begins to hover around you. It does a scan and of you as it hovers around, and you can see like a diagnosis come up, and it's like blood pressure high.
Like I think I have my critical injuries. Like I have like a damaged rib or some shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely. That's exactly what it does, and it diagnoses that you have this critical injury.
Oh, that's new. And he'll look to where the spot is, like on a lower rib or something. He'll like touch it. and he'll realize, okay, well, do you just tell me my problems, or do you help me with them?
The screen comes up and it says, "Assistant to Dr. Elo. Please find the doctor."
Good. You're gonna be so much fun. He looks at it. I don't have to pay you, do I?
It shakes its little servos in a negative way.
Okay, good. And then he'll just like look at it. Well, come on. And he'll like motion for it to follow him. Cool. I'll go catch up with Elo and Verse.
This thing, once it sees Elo, begins to like come over and gives you like a screen, like a readout basically of this diagnosis. You can see flashing in the screen, Elo, it's like dangerously armed, aggressive. Like these are like personality traits of your patient here that it is noting for you.
It just made notes.
Yeah. Aggressive.
Illegal weapons.
Elo is going to, as it sort of flutters over to them, "Oh, you were able to fix it. Wonderful." And then reading through these results is going to look down at Beegax. "I think Verse may have a good idea. It seems you may need to relax, Beegax." And they're going to point at the high blood pressure.
It's kind of it's a genetic thing, I think. Not a whole lot of Doug live to be that old, and if they do, it's usually for political aspirations, I should say. But I could use a drink, yeah.
You've been here on Socorro. What fun things have you done here on Socorro?
We survived a shootout. That was pretty cool. You saw that. You were there. You saved us. Mm-hmm. We met a hut. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We lost a body.
We found like an old Jedi guy. Well, he's not a real Jedi, but...
Wait, you found an old Jedi?
Yeah, that Obram guy. The guy Creed's gonna watch for us. He was part of the Jedi Order or Temple. But he's a believer.
Oh, Criff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to do?
Beegax is very perplexed. He's like, I never thought about that. Well, nobody does races anymore, right? They don't have pod racing.
Well, not legally.
Yeah. Well, if they have it on Socorro, it'd be great to see a race, but I haven't seen any indication.
We'll look into that. I can look into that. I can ask around. In fact, I know the place that we can go to find out about that. So
Beegax his eyebrow raises, one of his eyebrows. Really? A shady place, known by you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I just thought you would have brought this up sooner, you know. Judging from the kind of weapons you were wielding and the swagger and the attitude, I expected to go to this place a little sooner.
It's going to be great because you buy in, so...
And then he'll look at his data pad to check his credits, because I'm going to check. Yeah, he'll look at it. Yeah, I guess I could spring for us. Yeah, it's not a big deal.
I mean, that's the duty of the captain, right?
And then he'll, like, kind of clear his throat. Yeah, Captain, sure.
All right, Captain. She slaps you on the back. Let's go.
He'll look at Elo with, like, this grimacing face, like, when... Verse says Captain, it like pains him.
Elo is going to look towards this little mini droid and just ask, "Would you like to come?"
It like sucks in its little spindles and like spins up into a ball and then goes around to Elo's back and just sort of like rests there as like a little
perfect
medical backpack without
you got like a little barnacle.
I love it.
Little medical barnacle, yeah.
Little medical barnacle.
That's his name, Barney.
We'll call him Barney.
Yeah.
I love it.
But it's like B4R.
B4RN1, Barney.
We must protect Barney at all costs. Sorry, I shot you, Barney.
So Elo's got a new droid friend. And it may even occur to Elo at this moment, after hearing all of these fun things listed off that you've accomplished on Socorro, it's starting to pile up. Elo came here to look for one person, and all of a sudden they are caught up in all of these events, and it may even start to be taking its toll. You're sitting on quite a bit. You're sitting on this information that you've got about a Gir Tu'Tey that you're trying to find. You have this criminal enterprise that you've gotten wrapped up in. Ever since you ran in to Beegax, you've ended up with like bounty hunters, and now you're like extorted into this assassination plot. And on top of all of that, you're sitting on something weird going on inside of you.
Yeah, 2020, what can I say? It's a lot.
There's a lot happening for Elo at the moment, and I think even Beegax, you can pick up on this. I think there's a lot of things that Elo has been organizing on this ship in these moments, moving back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, does that sound okay, Jamie?
Yes. Yeah, that's perfect.
As we're getting ready to leave, Beegax, like everyone's heading down the ramp, Beegax turns around like, oh, I forgot something. He'll turn around and he'll look at like the lounge and kitchen area. Everything is organized and everything is like perfectly situated on the counters. The cabinets are closed. It looks clean. He's like, I haven't cleaned. And he'll like look back at Elo and Verse as they're walking down the ramp with the little thing with Barney on their back. And he's like, okay, not good. And he'll look back and he'll walk off the ship with them.
We see as the crew exits the way, the camera pushing in on this wall of organized anxiety, a nucleus of measured control around the whirling chaos that is life on the way. And as our fringers leave, we stay, pushing in on this unsettling stillness, an unnerving quiet, the product of a troubled mind with singular purpose. And we just sort of like do a wipe, you guys walking into the streets of Achaia through this hot weather, and I imagine you have your like cloaks on as well, sort of like hiding your faces, versus like got her weapon sort of like hidden in her jacket like before. You're starting to see the market around you and the streets around you. The atmosphere has changed a little bit. There's sort of like a tension here that you can sort of feel, that's palpable amongst people, and that's in large part to the patrols of stormtroopers that are marching through here. And like as you're moving through the streets, you can see like some merchant or something with like a bunch of berries, with those like little berries, like stormtrooper comes up to them, is like harassing them, like,
we're confiscating these for inspection.
And like takes the box and like flips it over, and all the berries just like go rolling into the street. And this merchant is like, no, please leave my stuff alone.
Oops. Better have this cleaned up before curfew, or that'll be a violation. Anyone out after curfew will be detained.
Beegax kind of like, you can hear him as he sees this, and they're all walking, just calm down, buddy, it's okay. And his hands, like one of his upper, like the hand limbs is twitching, going for the gun that's underneath his cloak. And he's just like, he'll hold it in.
Elo will like put their hand on your shoulder and just sort of like push us along to follow Verse wherever we're going.
And he just kind of grits his teeth. The sooner we get this done, the sooner we can get out of here. I hate this place. He's talking to Elo, and he says, he looks up at them. This place, I don't know how your master or whoever we're looking for is, how they did it here, but they gotta be strong-willed.
I agree. I'm pretty much done with this dust pile.
And then he looks at Verse. No offense, it's really hot. And now you got these Griffin mindless drones to worry about. And he's looking at stormtroopers probably like across the way who are out of earshot.
Let's just get out of here. And yeah, you can see like as you move through an alley, like crossing the camera, we see like stormtroopers just like shoving this merchant to the ground and like stepping on berries. Yes, knocking more berries onto the floor, and you can see like crowds of people just sort of like looking uncomfortably around.
Get back to your business.
We do another wipe from here as you come into another area of the city. This is away from the sort of like main market, certainly away from the spaceport, and it's sort of like a square or like a courtyard. You know how like European cities or even like North African cities are sort of like built around like a gathering place, a sort of like social space that everything sort of like spokes around.
Yeah, they got this in like France and Spain too, I think.
That's kind of the layout, and like all of the buildings around here are very simple. You're sort of in the part of town that doesn't have any of the like flowing fabrics and stuff like that, and or any of the like mechanized air conditioning. It's just sort of like big lazy fans that are sort of like moving around. The buildings are sort of stacked up on top of each other a little bit, so there's at least 2 stories, maybe 3. Some of the buildings sort of like going into the ground, sort of like basement level, like we've seen in Versus Place. There are there's a building here that's got draped with some lights, sort of like fairy lights or Christmas lights that are sort of like around, and in Arabesh it just says Flibs, and it's sort of like a 2-story building that you can just like walk into. It doesn't really have a door so much, and then there's sort of a way up, and as you go in, you can sort of like see up top, like there are people sort of like on the roof. It's sort of like a rooftop patio, and people are just sort of like playing cards, and it still has that sort of like essence of scum and villainy, but it there's one thing you can tell: people seem to be enjoying themselves. And yeah, Verse goes right up to the bar, and she's like, I'll have one of those, and one of those, and this guy's gonna be taking care of it.
Yep. Hi. I waddle up, or Beegax waddles up, and I assume the counter's a little, like, probably like mouth level for him. So he'll use his upper hands to kind of prop himself up a little bit, and he'll ask the bartender, "What's the damage?"
Is that it? Just 3? Nothing for the 2 of you? Points to Elo. I mean, we don't got any
oil?
Yeah, we don't got any of that. I mean, this is a droid-friendly place, but we don't have too much for drink. And he's just like, he's just like a sort of like scruffy Celestin. So like those like, he's got like big lips that are sort of like wet, and there's a big mustache on it. Sort of like scruff all around him. Are you?
Yeah, whatever she picked. One of the, he'll say like one of the first ones under his breath. 3 Griffin drinks.
So he pours you something. He like grabs some of the of this liquor that you've seen a lot of. You've seen in the crates. It's just sort of like a clearish alcohol that has sort of a kind of like a berry aftertaste to it. Very sharp.
Oh, yeah. Sprite remix. Yeah.
Yeah, Sprite remix. Yeah. Then go ahead and roll me a perception check.
4 success, 1 threat.
Yeah, you see another Doug over by the bar, just having a drink.
Interesting. I'll look at him a little closer. Does he have any visible uniform? Is he wearing a uniform, or is he wearing like typical people clothes?
Civilian clothes. She looks like she's presenting female too.
It's your ex-wife.
I was never married. So, this place, it's not Imperial friendly, I assume, yeah?
This whole planet's not Imperial friendly, my friend.
Great, but this place specifically, this Flibs, people here, are they more or less like you? Very adventurous?
I would say so, yeah. But don't get it twisted. There ain't nobody like me. And she takes a drink.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
She takes a drink of each of her drinks.
Yeah. You gotta mix them up. Let me tell you, it's not good all in one glass. You get the effect when you drink a sip of each.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mix the Sprite remix with the Dr. Pepper, and you put the Smarties in there, and
Yeah, I call it a suicide.
hey, this is a great place. What is this? Like Southwestern style food? Southwest Grill? Is that what this is called?
Oh, heck no. This is not Southwest anything, my friend. This is 100% Socorro.
Gotcha. Great. No, so Beegax, after getting the sense that these people are not friendly to the Empire, and he looks to Elo. How do you feel about hiring more help, either temporary or permanently?
It would depend on the person and their worth.
Yeah. Well, he'll look around. It seems like this is probably one of our best bets to get somebody of, and he looks at Verse, of good caliber, and like begrudgingly admits that Verse is like pretty good.
She like shrugs and... Are you talking about her?
I don't know. I haven't interacted with another Doug in a while.
Now, are you talking about hiring help for the crew, or are you talking about hiring help for you?
And he kind of gets surprised. No. Hiring for the crew. I'm not really,
All right, no shame.
No, and he'll stop. I'm not, I don't see myself with males or females of my species. I'm more of a solo type of Doug.
I got you, but you're here to have fun, all right? Stop doing work. Stop trying to hire. Just go have fun. You want to talk to her? Go talk to her.
And then he'll look at Verse a little bit more intensely. I don't think you get it. I'm not into anything. It's not how I operate.
I get that 100%. Maybe make a friend. You said you hadn't talked to a lot of Dougs. Well, maybe got something in common. And sure, maybe they'll turn out to be, I don't know, something good for the crew. Who knows?
Maybe they're part of the ISB. Oh. And he'll like take a drink of his drink and he'll walk over to the female Doug.
This is going to be so fun. I can't.
So this Doug's sitting there, and she's got like civilian clothes, sort of like lots of straps, like leather straps, and she's got like the Sebulba goggles on her head, and you can see like she's sitting there at the bar and she's got a drink, and like she acknowledges that you come over, but she just keeps like sort of like looking ahead.
Well, I'd like to say that I haven't seen you around, but I'm not from around here either, so let's cut the small talk. What's a Doug besides me doing out here on Socorro?
Whoa, okay, is that how you talk to everybody? Like that?
He'll nod. Yes, as a matter of fact, it is.
Whew, boy. Why don't you back up and start again?
He kind of grimaces. Hi.
There we go. That's good. That's better. Hello, my name is...
Beegax.
Excellent. What you doing here, Beegax?
I asked you first, technically, but I'll answer. And he's still like kind of gritting his teeth with this really fake smile. I'm looking for, well, I'm supposed to be having fun, but I'm actually also looking for crew members.
You don't look like you're having fun.
I know. It's very difficult to do.
It ain't that difficult to do. I'm Quidada. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Quidada. And he'll like realize he's still trying to smile. He'll stop.
Elo's gonna give like thumbs up from across the room.
Are you from the home world or born off planet?
Yeah, I'm from Alistair. You from Alistair?
Yep, born and raised.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, it's not very often you meet someone from from back home,
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, what are you doing all the way out here? Business or pleasure?
It's always business.
Oh boy.
He'll look at her cups and then he'll look at the bartender. Another one for her and one for me, please.
Oh. A gentleman. Don't come around too many of you on Malice there, that's for sure. Certainly not out here.
No, I just think of it as an apology for starting off so rough.
Apology accepted. Let's cut away from this for a second. Elo, you've been watching all of this from across the bar. Verse comes up to you, and she's like, Elo.
And Elo is just going to not, usually when somebody uses that tone to whisper, you would, lean in. Elo isn't going to, and is just going to say, yes.
I need your help.
With what? I would love to help. That is my intended purpose.
Yeah, excellent. So you got any, stabilizers or uppers or anything like that?
What the fuck?
I don't believe I know what you mean.
Okay. So there's a guy upstairs. I kind of challenged him to, a drinking contest. I'm gonna blow him out of the water, no problem. But I need your help, if things start to go bad, maybe if you've got any, detoxers or something, I need you to subtle. If you see me slipping, I need you to, do your doctor stuff.
Not completely understanding the situation, but knowing what they need to do now is just going to say, I believe I can do that. Just keep you up and awake, correct?
Yeah. And drinking, yeah. Make sure that I can win.
Got it. Elo is going to follow Verse, but before they go upstairs is going to look towards Beegax to see him in his awkward mid-smile conversation. And we'll just follow back up.
You go up to up to this upper level, up the stairs, and there's sort of this outdoor patio, and there's a crowd that's gathered there. There's a real big alien, thick neck, big horns coming out the bottom of their face, real tank looking, thick hands, just meat slabs of hands. Big thick brow. He's a DeWooten, and he looks up and he sees you coming, and he's like,
"Oh, Verse, you bringing help? Who is this?"
"Don't worry about it. I'm just bringing my friend to keep you honest so that you don't cheat."
"All you gotta do is drink me under the table. Shouldn't be that hard, should it?"
"Easy." And she grabs someone's drink and takes a drink of it, and she was like, "That one didn't even count," and drops the glass on the table. And he's like,
"Get your poison."
"Corellian whiskey."
"Corellian whiskey it is. Who's buying?"
"Well, the loser, naturally. If I lose, don't worry about it. I got a guy in front of me." And she looks over at Elo and does a wink.
Just betting with my money.
And a bunch of rounds of shots are brought and set down at the table. I'm gonna need Elo to be doing medical checks during this to sort of assess how everyone is doing here and see if you need to step in. Now there's a crowd around you, so if you need to step in, you're gonna have to do this discreetly. I want you to roll for Verse.
Okay.
We are going to do some competitive rolls here for these drinks. So I need you to roll me 3 green die for a resilience check.
3 successes!
Oh, that's very good. I only got 2 successes. The first round goes down. Verse takes a drink, boom, slams it down. I'm just getting started. He looks and laughs. And this big guy takes a drink, slams it down. Now, I need you to make that same roll, but add a purple die.
2 successes, 1 advantage.
She goes to take another drink. She puts it down, slams it down again. He takes 2 shots in his hand, his big hand, and one after the other in his hand, and puts it down on the table and slides it over so it knocks the glass away from the table, and it goes tumbling into her lap. I need you to make me a medical check, average medical check, to see how she's doing here.
2 successes, 2 advantages.
She's okay for now. Elo, like, assesses this as we see, like, all these beings, like, slapping this big guy on the shoulder as he, like, did this power move. And we cut back down to the bar and these two Dougs having a conversation.
So you know I'm here on business. What brings you here to Socorro, so far away from home?
Yeah, I'm here for the races.
He'll stop.
Races.
Yeah, the underground pod races. I'm a racer.
His eyes go huge. They grow.
Oh. Where are these races?
Why? Who's asking?
I'm asking.
I'll tell you what. I'll make a wager with you.
Okay.
I'll tell you when my next race is if you can beat me in a drinking contest.
2 drinking contests?
She gives her this confused look.
What? Is this some kind of trick?
Well, there's a few rules. All you gotta do is drink faster than me.
Okay. It would just be easier if you told me where these things were.
Bartender and
Oh my god. If you both lose, we are gonna be so broke.
drinking games are real popular at this bar. By the way.
It seems so.
They've got beer pong in the back.
Yeah, oh yeah. In fact, like, you can see, like, that's all that's happening right now. It's just like all kinds of drinking games are taking place.
Hey man, that makes for the best kind of crew members.
She asks for 2 glasses and like a shot glass. And the bartender comes over and is like, he fills them up. Don't worry, my friend's taking care of it. Isn't that right?
He has that fake smile again.
Sure. Yeah. That's how I do.
So he like pours these bigger like pint glasses, and she's like, okay, here's the game. You have to drink, and then she pours into the shot glass that amount of booze before I finish these 2. And then you win.
So I have the shot glass and she has the 2 cups.
That's right.
I'm gonna... Damn, this is scary because obviously she knows something I don't. I can't analyze her because my medical droid is doing their thing upstairs. And they have Barney too. Barney would have been useful.
We're busy getting crunk up here, so...
Yeah, yep.
Alright. Yeah, sure.
Okay, you ready for the other rules? They're real simple though.
More rules. How fun.
But there's only 3. It's just the 3. So the first one, to win, you have to drink that before me. The second one is I get to get a head start. I drink one of these, and when I put the glass down, that's when you get to drink. And all you have to do is drink that faster than me.
Great. What's the third rule?
The third rule is we don't get to touch each other's glasses. No, you can't knock my glass off of the bar. I can't knock your glass off of the bar. No one's touching each other's glasses. Nothing like that. All right?
Wouldn't dream of it.
Okay. Are you ready?
Well, are we drinking the same thing?
Yeah, we're drinking the same thing.
What's the equivalent of an insight check in this world?
It's probably discipline or vigilance, whichever is higher for you.
They're the same.
Okay.
So I'd like to check something. Obviously, she's done this before. This is
Yeah. So we'll call it an average check. I'm gonna throw in a black die in there just because. Yeah, you're kind of suspicious and you're like not in your element here.
1 success.
Beegax has been around the block before. Like, there's definitely something she knows that you don't about this for sure. You don't know what it is, but yeah, there's something about this.
Okay, he's gonna look at the glasses, the 2 glasses that she's got. Make sure that there's no holes or anything in them.
Give me a perception check. We'll call that average as well.
2 failures.
Looks like frosty glasses of alcohol to you.
So you're not allowed to start drinking until she's done drinking?
She's got to drink 2 big glasses before Beegax drinks the 1-shot glass.
And he can't drink until she puts her glass down?
Until she puts the glass down.
Oh, I know what she's gonna do. She's gonna drink the first one, and then not turn it and keep drinking the other one because they're dogs. We have multiple limbs.
She goes, "Are you ready?"
No. He'll say, if I'm not allowed to touch a glass and I'm not allowed to drink until you put the first one down, what's to stop you from keeping it up and just drinking the other drink?
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Okay, we'll add a new rule. How about that? I can't start drinking my second drink until I've put down my first drink. How about that?
I feel a little better, but not completely sold.
Okay, ready? You know I'm gonna win. I'm inside your head now.
You better start paying rent.
She starts drinking this drink. Bloop, 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 bloop. She's like chugging a pounder, basically.
Yeah.
And then she looks at you and she goes, okay, I'm gonna put my glass down. And she takes her glass and puts it over your shot glass. And then she picks up her other glass and starts drinking the second one.
So Beegax will just sit there, kind of puts his hands pressed against his face, and just sits there.
Yeah. Okay.
So he just gets up and he turns around because he realizes the rest of them are gone. He looks around and they're not around. He'll turn back to Cuidada and he'll say,
I hope you wreck and die in a fiery crash.
And he has like a smile. He has like a genuine smile as he says this.
Oh, don't be a sore loser now. Come on, sit down.
No, I gotta find my friends.
Tell me why you want to know about the races. I'm just having fun. You're bad at this. You gotta have fun.
Usually fun equals some sort of fair play, but whatever. We're on Socorro.
That's right.
This place hasn't been fair since day one. I'm just a fan of the races. I've been a fan since I was a tiny Doug. I haven't seen a good race in a while.
You race on Alistair?
No way. I'd crash. Don't have, my reflexes are okay, but I've just been more of a fan. Those things, I've seen some pretty bad wrecks. They were great. I've seen, amazing tracks. Great machines. Just more interested in the machines.
Tell me more about that. You got a favorite pod?
There was this one pod racer a while back. Nevaki. He didn't have any strings on his pod. Everything was one cohesive piece. It was, well, for lack of a better word, majestic. Great turn, great handling. Acceleration was amazing.
I remember that pod. That was incredible pod, yeah. I saw that on the Bunta Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, hell yeah. You know your stuff, all right. Well, maybe I had you wrong.
Yeah, maybe I had you wrong too.
And he looks at the cup still covering the shot glass.
We've always done, racing on the down low, but especially with the Empire here, now we've got to be extra careful. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm busting your balls a little bit, okay?
You thought I'm Empire? Come on.
And he points to himself.
You have to tell me if you are. You have to tell me.
I'm not.
Yeah, we got a trek outside of Ikea through the Badlands. I'll tell you what. You come out and check out the race. I'll show you my racer. And, I can introduce you around, whatever.
Nice, yeah, that would work.
Cool.
It's been a long time since I've hung out with racers.
It's been a long time since I've hung out with, from somewhere back home, you remind me a lot of kids I used to hang out with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you on Socorro for long? Because it's in a couple of days, but...
Yeah, I'll be going somewhere. I'll be back. Hopefully. If everything goes to plan.
Alright, cool. You got a data pad or something?
He just pulls his out and puts it on the counter.
And she types in boop, 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 and a couple of days be there. That's where we meet.
He looks at it and I assume it's in the Badlands somewhere. So he'll see how far it is from the wreck of the other ship, or when the other ship crashed and all that other stuff happened, just to see how close it was.
It's super close.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it may even be near the track, part of the track.
Yeah, near the what did we call them? The snake, the I forgot what we call
the snake.
the stones.
Yeah, the snake rock. Yeah, for sure. That's you can tell that's one of the landmarks.
You guys lucky that storm didn't wreck your course.
Oh yeah, that set us back. We had a race plan for that, but that's part of the fun, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just it gets dangerous.
Driving, I would love to see racers go through that storm. It was intense.
That'd be something.
And he'll take the data pad. He'll put it away.
Can I buy you another round?
No, I gotta find my friends. I didn't realize they went missing out. Yeah, not right now, but...
All right, cool. All right. Well, it was good talking with you, Beegax.
Same. Cuidado.
And he'll put a hand out.
She, slaps you a high five. I hope I see you at the race.
He takes a high five.
That's a start.
We cut back up to... There's been several more drinks that have been taken now, and you can see the big guy, he's swaying in his seat. His lids look real heavy, his mouth sort of hanging open. And you can see Verse, and she's trying to get a real, steady her glare at this guy. You can see, it's taking all of her concentration to, look him down, and she's like, okay, all right, let's keep going. And Jamie, I need you to roll for me. What were we up to? 2? Well, let's start with 2. It's gonna be 3 real quick.
Oh boy. Okay, come on, Bercy.
Oh,
I got a wash.
I got 2 failures. I think what we see is the 2 of them take a drink, and you can see Verse she takes a drink, and then the glass sort of rolls off her chin and into her hand, and she's and then sets it down, and the guy looking at it, and he's looking at the glass, and he's just staring at it, and then trying to psych himself up, and then he takes it real quick, does a cough, and puts it down. Jamie, I need you to give me a medical check.
Okay, at this point, I want Elo to go right up to Verse, who I picture sitting sort of at this circular table, sort of hunched over, very messed up. And Elo's going to get within 2 inches of her ear. Are you still awake? While doing a medical check. 1 failure. She just turns around and throws up all over. Yeah, totally. She goes, I'm full.
I just need that doesn't count. That doesn't count. None of that was alcohol, okay? None of that was alcohol. That was just what I ate. Yeah, so she's looking rough. Let's do another check, another shot, this time 3 purple. I'm going to throw a black die in for you.
Oh my gosh.
For this throwing up.
Oh man, this is a really stacked against the odds roll. Here we go. As I'm wiping off the vomit, Elo is going to sneakily sort of grab this stim applicator, and as they're wiping off the vomit on Verse, is just going to sort of get her right in the gut.
Okay. Give me an average stealth check, and you can have a blue die.
Are we using a light side?
Yes, I'm using the unusable one after this.
Boom. Light side burn on alcohol and drugs. I love it.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, you're able to stealthily stick her with this. Now, what does that look like? What are you doing here with this?
So what I picture is because I said she was going for the gut, or they're going for the gut, is just this sort of injection needle. Maybe Elo pushes their hand back, and this needle pops out from their wrist, and they're just psst. And it almost sort of takes over Verse, where you see people get the adrenaline shots, where it's you just see her invigorated with energy all of a sudden.
Yeah, the back goes totally straight, the eyes go wide, the pupils go dilate down, and she's whew, yeah, whew. She shrugs it off.
Yes, and with a pat on the back, Elo is just going to say, "You've got this."
So this is the final shot. This is all of these little shots have been there's a pyramid of tinkling glass on this table with this amber colored liquid spilling over in pools, and in the smoky light you just hear people chanting like yeah. Elo's in real close. I need you to give me a 3 purple roll, add a green die. You've got a black die in there. Oh, you had an advantage too, right? On your last roll? Go ahead and throw a blue die in there as well.
1 success, 1 advantage.
An invigorated Verse takes this final shot and holds it up to everyone, the crowd, and it like gets them all quiet, and it like, we see it like holds it up in front of Elo's face, and it like rack focus so we can see like Elo's face tilting around and viewing this, and she brings it to her lips and takes it down the hatch and puts it down at the table, flicks it over the shot glass. It goes sliding over to this big dude, and it tinks the shot that he's got in front of him, and he's not looking good. He wipes away a bunch of glasses. They fall to the floor. He takes this last shot, slaps his face, takes it down the hatch, and looks at Verse dead in the face, does a big smile, and just like falls over. Glass clatters all over the thing. The crowd goes, yeah! Verse is like, oh my god, thank you so much, Elo, thank you so much. Whew, I think I need some water. And as this is happening, Beegax, you're coming up the stairs.
I think Beegax will look around.
I've seen this movie before.
Elo is like holding Verse up.
We'll move over there.
What happened?
I want us some free drinks.
Us?
Looks at the ground, looks at the table.
Oh, it looks like you already handled all the free drinks today.
Yeah, I mean, I drank most of them, but... check his pockets.
Beegax looks at the big guy. Looks at everyone around.
This is legal, right? She won, so I can do this.
No one seems to care.
Okay, I'm gonna rifle through his pockets.
All right, roll me a percentage die.
57.
57. So let's just round that up and call it. You're able to pilfer 600 credits off this guy.
Damn. Okay.
Beegax like,
Griff. Okay. Yeah, we're good.
and you hear clink, 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 clink.
See? What I tell you?
Yep.
Are you having fun?
Yep.
Are you having fun?
This has been a great day. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah.
I need you to roll me perception checks, both of you.
Simple?
Actually average.
Okay.
Because of the noise of the crowd here.
1 success for me, 3 threats.
I gotta wash.
All right, Elo, you're too busy. Like, you just have like, yeah, Verse is just like slurring in your ear, like, I showed that guy, huh? I showed him so good.
You did it.
And Beegax, on this outdoor patio, like, you can see downstairs, like, there's some uproar now. Like, people are sort of, like, you can hear some, like, screams and stuff. There is a battalion of stormtroopers coming through this square now. They are pushing people out of the way. They are grabbing people and throwing them to the ground. You can hear over this, you can hear something about curfew, something about arrest. They seem to be like moving in and like taking people down. There's a transport here that they're starting to like put people in.
You gotta go.
As he looks over the edge. Because we're like on some balcony, right? Like some sort of like top bar there. So he'll look over, he'll turn around.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I'm just gonna start it. I'm just gonna.
No. You wanna get started in an Imperial prison, or you wanna get started back home?
And then he looks to Elo.
We gotta move.
All right, let's get out of here.
How do you guys want to get out of here?
So, okay, if we go downstairs again, they're not inside the bar yet, are they?
Not yet. They are coming this way.
Alright, so how high are we?
A story up.
1 story up? Well, I mean, we could maybe survive.
You think Verse is gonna make that right now?
You're going to
Oh, okay.
Is there a nearby roof?
Oh, yeah.
Let's say that there is. Yeah, let's say there is.
What? What's the distance? What's the gap between roofs?
I think these buildings are pretty close together. I think it's jumpable. Yeah, I think it's probably like an average athletics check or something like that.
Over there, and points to like an adjacent rooftop that's pretty close.
Take her across. You first.
And he'll have his hand on his gun, like he's looking towards the opening that the stairwell leads up to the paddock or the bar.
Yeah, you can see people are starting to move now in the bar. Like people have like gotten wind of this. People are like shouting, glasses crashing everywhere. Like people are getting up, taking winnings, finishing their beer, their drinking games, running out the back. Yeah, you see some people jump over the side. Elo, what do you do?
Elo is going to go exactly where Beegax told them and is going to try to jump over onto this other roof.
Make me an athletics check. You got a black die for carrying verse.
If may I suggest you use the last light side point since you are carrying a VIP currently.
I am. Okay, I will do that. Here we go. 1 success, 1 threat.
You clear. Boom. Take a jumping leap. Well, what does that look like?
As when they make the leap over, it's very majestic, but the landing is a little. It's like the ceramic tile roofing, and so like a couple of these tiles are falling off the roof as Elo's gaining their balance while holding onto verse 2.
You land. You just hear first go like whoa, but she is otherwise unharmed. Beegax, what do you do?
I'm taking one look behind me and then getting a running start if that helps, and then like just Doug jumping across. Yeah,
you're trying to do a running start and there's like a crowd of people. You're like doing a running, but you're like trying to push through them. So give me an average athletics check, and I'm gonna throw a black die in for you as well.
Ugh. Okay, 1 success.
How does that look? Beegax like jumping through, like pushing through this crowd of people as they try and push past him for the door.
So he'll like, as he sees Elo jump with verse, he'll kind of move and people are scrambling around him and like a little jab, just push him out of the way, like, get out of here. And he turns around and he wipes his hands, and then kind of does the Doug trot to get the start. And then he realizes there's people that he pushed away. There's more coming in, and he's just like, get out of the way. At one point, there's like a table, and he has to take a little leap, like, and then hits the ground, and then boom, hits another jump, and tries to land where the tiles have already been shifted by Elo. And I'd say 1 success to me equates making it, but like barely making it. Like he lands on the side, and since his torso is shaped like that weird C shape, it's kind of like a backwards, and he uses his hands to catch his balance, and then he'll stabilize.
Okay.
With those rolls, you are able to make a clean getaway from this, but you can hear behind you as you're running from this bar, like there is more panic going on, and you can hear the rumble of that transport and the stormtroopers. And then as you leave, you can even hear like blaster fire going on as the three of you escape away from this chaos. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Elo is played by Jamie Lee Bonez, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
When did you go to Galaxy's Edge?
I think in February.
So right before the whole world went to shit.
It's mostly a gift shop, but it
Yeah.
still looks really cool. And those stormtroopers in uniform, whew. Whew. I just love a man in a codpiece. What can I say?